What's crazy to me is that we keep talking about some projects that have been around for a long time, and we do neglect the ones that deliver on time, even though perhaps the price to performance ratio isn't as great as we want it to be, but still, they're there, they're building, they're doing something. And Elephant 20 is one of them. So in my last video, I did talk about whatever was coming up, so aka the farms. Now they did release something afterwards. Unfortunately, expectations versus reality is always something that many people tend to forget when it comes to price appreciation, price action, etc. So, that aside, what I want to do today is I want to, make an update because last time when I released the video, it was before the farm launch. So, I want to touch base on the farms, the metrics, whatever they had coming up since, and perhaps talk a bit about the price itself. My name is Roy, and I hope to install some value in everything that I'm about to say and show you. So, Elephant. The farms are live. If you don't recall, now I have the farm page open right now. If you don't recall, it's essentially a place where you deposit your blue chips. So here they are, ranging from BUSD, BTC, ETH, all on the Binance Smart Chain, so BEP20 tokens. And those get internally converted to Trunk, and in turns get the value of Trunk, whatever is the market value of Trunk, and would earn you the APR up to 100%, but it all depends on the price of Trunk. So if Trunk is at PEG, you will get about 100% on these farms. If you look at the APRs, they're more or less the same. But because Trunk right now is way below that, so if I go to the chart, you can clearly see the price is about 26 cents, hence why the APR is 32.4 almost. So APRs across the board, if we want to talk about the farms, if we want to talk about Stampede, if we want to talk about Trunk staking, they're all dynamic. Now I'm sure you're familiar with this logic, but I'm just gonna repeat it anyways, meaning they have a ceiling. For Stampede it's about, I think, 200%. We're staking, I think, like 70, 80, I'm not 100% sure, and they decrease and can reach the ceiling and increase as Trunk goes back to back. Now, talking about the farms and their performance. Now, overall, we've had about, this is the farm stat, we had about 6.9 million trunks, so to speak, that have entered the farm, and the TVL grew, I think, about 20 mil ever since the farm's launch, perhaps more or less. Now this is something that again is in addition to everything that has been rolling out. So if you've been keeping up, they're doing raffles, they added the peanuts, they added the buy with Bertha, so all of these things, and now the farm is something of a roll up in order to feed what is the most important part of the ecosystem, aka the elephant treasury. And with that in mind, the farmer's depot, is something that they also introduced, and that came after the launch of the farm, and in which the main addition to this also helps the growth of the elephant treasury. And quickly, let's just discuss what does that mean to you as an investor and the elephant token and subsequently the trunk token. If you do decide to enter the farmer's depot, because right now, in order to enter the farms, you need liquid trunk. If you're in Stampede, the APR to earn some trunk right now is not so attractive. So if you are in Stampede, you are not earning as much as you would want in order to enter the farm and actually start earning some good, decent returns. So what you would do is that you need to acquire liquid farm. So one way to do it is go to PancakeSwap and buy the token directly. But another more effective way to you and the ecosystem is using the Farmer's Depot. And the Farmer's Depot in this context will release in time the trunk tokens that you are due. So if I go to my sheet, just very quickly, if I were to buy $1,000 worth of trunk with the buy, let me undo. So using the Farmers Depot at the current price of trunk of 28 cents, that would give me 3,861 trunk, but I wouldn't receive all of those tokens at once. I would receive them at a rate of 3.33% a day. And that is for good reason. One, the delayed emission of trunk would lower, the future selling pressure. Two, the distribution of the BUSD that you would contribute to acquire those trunk would mainly go to Bertha, aka the Elephant Treasury, meaning 80% of everything you purchase in BUSD is gonna go to the Elephant Treasury. 10% is gonna feed the redemption queue. The redemption queue, if you're not familiar with this concept, is when basically people go to, let's go to trunk, and if I were to redeem some of the trunk that I have, and I go here, I come here, I click redeem, and I enter the amount of trunk I want to redeem. I click redeem and I enter the queue, and the redemption queue gives me my trunk at $1. So if I were to redeem 1,000 trunk, they would give me $1,000. And that money is mainly rolled out from the reflections, the elephant reflections that are fed into the Elephant Treasury. So right now, if you buy with the Farmers Depot, you're gonna allocate 10% of that BUSD to feed the redemption queue. So if you are in the redemption queue, you are technically helping yourself out. And the other 10% is gonna actually buy trunk on the open market, aka PancakeSwap, and add some buy pressure to it. So the point of Farmers Depot, if you haven't gotten this already, is mainly to feed the Elephant Treasury, to have a small delayed gratification for yourself, to help the ecosystem in the redemption queue, and also, to boost up the price of trunk. Because if you do allocate a lot of money into the Elephant Treasury that is constantly growing and building up, it's gonna feed back trunk and push it back to peg. And that's how I see trunk finally going to peg. No matter what you do, no matter what you add up in parallel to the ecosystem itself, what will actually put us in peg, is the treasury. Just touching base on the treasury itself, and before I do so, this is actually the price of the Elephant Money token since August, and you can clearly see the uptrend, right? With the market downturn, with the FTX collapse, with whatever entity facing trouble, the Elephant token is performing well, in my personal opinion. The chart shows it all, and with the decent performance of the Elephant token, you have an ever-growing Elephant Treasury surpassing 100 trillion. I think last time I checked it was about 92 trillion, so we're closing a 10 trillion addition from when I last saw it, so that's amazing. The more this grows, the most your central point or your focal point grows, earns more reflections, the balance of tokens shifts more to one side, and then you're gonna have less in circulation. Elephant money explodes, feeds back trunk goes back to peg. The cycle is pretty clear, and all of these tiny small additions are basically going to that direction. And if you are someone who's looking at the price of trunk and getting a bit depressed because of it, just keep in mind that in regards to daily sell pressure from all the current implementations to trunk, it's not that much. I mean, I just put the numbers here from the trunk bonded, the trunk staked, and the trunken farms, and how much based on those APRs are earning on a yearly basis, and how much of potential sell pressure this could give us on a daily basis based on the current price of trunk. And if you look at it, 24k is literally not much for a protocol like Elephant. It could eat up this sell pressure easily. Sell pressure and whatever drove the price down originally is literally traders looking at the chart, announcement of the elephant farms, small rally, sell the news, and here we are. We're still in an uptrend more or less. And I think once we get rid of all the traders, all the holders, all the whatever, and moving in with that potential sell pressure as I just showed you, with everything that that we have coming up in regards to, you know, the elephant treasury growing, the buy pressure coming from depot, which isn't that much, because if you really think about it, what will get us back to peg, like I said, is the elephant treasury. There's not much buying pressure coming from other sources other than buying the token on PancakeSwap, which is something that is not so incentivized right now, as you most probably know. So you can do it with peanuts if you want to enter Stampede, Farmers Depot if you want to enter the farms. So yeah, I think overall you get the picture. It's like a triad of feeding the elephant treasure in order to feed us back into Trunk. You have peanuts, adding some money into the treasury. You have buy with Bertha, and now you have the Farmers Depot, which are all essentially putting money into the treasury to propel us back to peg. And that was it for today's video. Now I hope you stuck around till the end. If you did like whatever I just spoke of, whatever I just showcased, do consider subscribing. It really helps us. New content creators around the blog, they show out better and more valuable content to everyone involved. Now liking also helps, pushes the algorithm. Do it if you really like the video, not just for the sake of liking overall. Also, if you have something to say, if you want to open a discussion, mention something, do a small critique, you know, talk about something I missed out, please, the comment section is all yours. Also, you can text me personally on Telegram. The Telegram handle is going to be listed in the description. Also, you feel free to join our Telegram community, DeFi Ascension, open to everyone. We talk about several projects, a bunch of cool guys. And the freedom of speech, is something that I haven't seen anywhere else before, to be honest. So you can talk about whatever you want. Negativity, positivity, doesn't matter as long as you're fair and it's well-mannered, of course. So with that being said, catch you in the next one. Have a good one.